Hey guys.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're on the couch and just chilling, and we were just reminiscing on, the past year and let's say 11 months, and how it's been being married. We're still newlyweds.
True.
And we just want to share some of the things that we've learned, some of the ups, some of the downs, of our journey thus far. Even though 2 years may not seem like a lot, I think it's a great accomplishment because a lot of marriages have not made it this far, especially in the Western world and the Western culture. So it is quite a blessing to celebrate 2 years of wedding anniversary. They call it the cotton.
Cotton, yeah. The first year is paper, the second year is cotton.
So you have to get me cotton gifts, cotton clothing.
Comfortable. So I try not to work with any colors today, and some people have just been reading into these things so much. Just like every little thing, they'll be like, oh, was this a pink thing? Was this a blue thing? We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoy this video and this sit down that we're gonna have, and just be blessed.
Hey there, I'm Shamaine.
And I'm Rashad.
And we're the Prospers. So babe, how has it been for you? We'll ask each other some questions.
Okay.
How has it been for you from the time we got married up until today?
Actually, somebody had asked me that question today, and I was telling them marriage is more ups than downs. That's the best way I can put it, because there are days where you're on top of the mountain. There are days when you're in the valley and want to dig a hole in the valley. It's been one of the most amazing things is just having companionship, having somebody next to you who shares common goals, and the objective is pretty much we pretty much share that, because we have the common goals and the vision is the same, then we just taking off these objectives. For me personally, I do struggle with the idea of where we should have been. And I think that that's something that can really affect a marriage if it's allowed to fester. A lot of people in the Western culture, we get married a little later than other cultures. So maybe late 20s, early 30s. And sometimes the individuals would have been single and amount in there, just kind of saving up their money and amassing their wealth. But in our case, we went to school for what seems like the better part of our entire lives, and we got married as soon as we came back, before we started working, and now we're still kind of figuring everything out. Now there's a baby on the way, and then we get stuck in what should have been. We should have had a piece of land by now, we should have built a house by now, we should have had 3 vehicles and a motorcycle, a jet ski, or we should have been able to take our parents on a trip. We should, and it distracts you from what is actually happening. A lot of the times we lose track of what's happening before us. And I was telling Shemaine that during the week we prayed for this specific chapter of our life that we're in, but when we enter that chapter, it's like we're in such a hurry to leave to get to the next chapter that we're praying for, without really acknowledging and being thankful in this present chapter. One of the things I remember was you wanted to be pregnant and you did not want to be stressed, not knowing that what that meant was time off from work. And your mother was like, I prophesied your mother prophesied that you'd have been off work during the pregnancy.
Yes, prophesied that I would be home for the entire pregnancy. And she got her wish. Well, she prophesied. The prophecy came true.
She spoke into existence.
Yes.
And at the time when, in the last chapter, that was something that you wanted. And then now that you have it, you feel like it's too much. You don't like being home. You want to move to the next chapter.
God really does have a sense of humor, because we ask for certain things and He gives us the things that we ask for. And then when we get the things, we're like, God, about that thing, I don't really want it anymore. You can take it back. So like Richard said, one of the biggest things for me, or one of the biggest lessons that it has been just reoccurring throughout the 2 years, is the lesson of patience. For me, it's not really acquiring wealth and material things and status and so on, but for me, like Rachel knows, I'm a very simple person. It doesn't take much to please me. I don't need gifts. I don't need expensive things. I don't need, just give me food and give me Jesus and I'm okay. And he knows that. So for me, in terms of the patient aspect, we have not really yet found a church where we are serving and we are fixed and stationed. And for me, coming from Cuba, where we were super active in ministry and we were so on fire for God, and then first it started with work. Because of our schedules, we were unable to, serve as much as we wanted to. So we were really missing church a lot, and that really got me really, really depressed during especially internship. And then now, being home, we still are looking for a church to call home. And for me, sometimes it's a bit, still is depressing, because up till yesterday, I was praying and I was telling God, I don't know if this is my season of waiting. This is my period of, in the valley where you prepare me for whatever is to come. But if this is the season that you have for me, then I will wait on you. Because I remember one of the biggest goals that we had getting together as a couple was that we were really passionate about God and passionate about ministry and serving. And we always said that our life would be one of serving and one of ministry unto God and unto the kingdom. And then this period, this very slow period that we are in at the moment, it is somewhat depressing. But one other thing that I have learned is that whatever season that we are in, whether it's a drought season, it's a season of waiting, you have to approach it. You have to take advantage of that season that you're in. So as much as I want to serve and everything like that, I try to seize every moment that I have, encourage my friends about God. We use this platform, to speak about God, to encourage. And for me, that has been the one thing that has been really uplifting me and helping me. And having somebody to do it with you, it helps and it really makes the load easier. So for me, that has one thing that I have really been learning during these years.
But even in like specifically this season as well, I've come to notice that the quiet seasons are where you learn a lot of things. There's been, the last season was a working season. This season is more like what we consider to be a stagnant season, but I realize that there's a lot of observation that's happening in this season. And one of the things that, over the past 2 years, we've sat down and we've said this many, many times is, one of the things that we always wanted was married couple friends. And it's not that easy to find married couple friends where their objectives are similar to the objectives that you guys have in your marriage. Some couples, they still go out and party. Some couples, they go to carnival, that kind of stuff. Like, you meet people, but then to really have a deep and profound connection as a couple, that's something that's very rare to find. And what I have come to realize is that as we grow older and as we grow deeper into our marriage, that friendships have started changing.
And it's not only that, it's like, now that we're older, everybody else is kind of like minding their business. They're in their life, working,
their life as well,
working, making their money, laying down their roots, and you always, like as adults, you always have to schedule time together.
That's true.
And sometimes persons are not willing to make the sacrifice, to have, that connection.
But some of the most enjoyable or surprising moments have been when people call and say, "Hey, I'm just bringing you a cake."
Oh yes, Linnell.
Or hey, I want to just take you for a drive. And Kathy came and she's like, I don't care what you're doing, you're getting out of the house. And it was a fight, it was a battle to get out of the house during the pregnancy.
And then that's the other thing that I have been learning is that the same things that you expect people to do for you or you want to see from people, I think we should be the ones to be doing these things for people first. Don't wait for someone to befriend you. You befriend somebody first. As Proverbs said, he who wants friends must show himself friendly. Right?
I also like when Proverbs said, iron sharpeneth
iron. So in order for us to do these things, we have to be welcoming. We have to sometimes, most of the times, make the first move. Like how I met Linnell. I used to watch all of Linnell's videos since, I used to follow her on Facebook since Cuba, from the time she got married, because I remember we wanted to take a similar path. We wanted to get married in Cuba as we graduate from med school. So I was looking for Christians from church who had done the same thing, and I stumbled upon her Facebook page. And from since then, I was following Linnell. And Rashad was like, when we came to St. Lucia, he was like, why don't you just send her a message?
Listen, I tried to get Shimin to reach out to Linnell for the longest while. It could have been like 6 months. Shimin, every day you watching her content and stuff, just send her a message.
And I was like, but I'm too shy. I don't know. I'm not the person. I'm always like, I don't ever know what to say. All I could say is hi, hello, and that's it. And he's like, no, but the conversation will just flow and blah 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 blah. So I took his advice, and I reached out to her, and we formed a connection.
Actually, no, I think I understand where you're coming from, because I saw Shanna and her husband recently, and it's almost like I kind of froze, like I got nervous. I was like, hi, hello. These people are normal people. They're human beings, regular people just like us.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just get so nervous when you meet new people.
And all of this to say, something just came to mind.
I'm gonna link a channel description.
Is that wherever you are, wherever God has placed you, with whatever little God has given you, you use that to the best of your ability to glorify Him. So the friendships that you have, the seasons that you are in, the opportunities that you have, you seize these moments and use them to glorify God. And trust me, God, it's a little that we do for God that He's going to take into account and multiply it. So we offer that little, hand to that friend. God is going to take whatever little we give to the friend, and He's going to multiply it. It's probably going to be a friendship that's budding and budding, and we never expected it from the start. So
that's true. That's true. And also, don't be afraid of where God is taking you. Sometimes the next chapter may be that we leave certain things behind, or we pick up certain things. Some of us were afraid to leave things behind, some of us were afraid to pick up new things. But ideally, when we put our trust in God and we allow Him to lead us, looking back objectively, I don't understand how I am where I am today. These are things that I thought about, I dreamt about when I was younger, never knew how they would actually materialize. And then now you're living in these things that you had asked for, you had prayed for 10 years ago, 11 years ago, sometimes even more recent than that, 2-3 years ago. And it's just been a journey. So I'm glad to hear that your first 2 years have been pretty chill.
Yes. And then I would also like to say that one thing that I have been learning, and I have learned throughout the 2 years, is that you have to choose to love each other every day. I choose to love you every day. Because some days I wake up and he annoys me so much, and that's the truth of it. And the social media has somewhat blinded our eyes to think that marriage is always so rosy and romantic and lovely, and we'll never quarrel and we'll never argue. There are days when we don't see eye to eye. There are days when we just don't want to talk to each other because the person mashed my toe and I don't like it. And we have been learning to manage conflict very well.
That's true.
Very well. I remember one of our first videos, you were talking about conflict resolution and so on. And I think from that video to now, we have grown a lot. And from me being home and then you working in the ER and having a lot of time, we have been spending a lot of time home together. And trust me, I've been falling in love with him over and over and over. With the in-between, the little annoying moments, and that.
I mean, your little annoying moments.
Both of our little annoying moments, but I tend to get over them very quickly, because I just look at him and I just melt. I was like, he's so cute. And the little things that he does, like this morning, I fell asleep on the floor and the AC was on, and he just came and he put the blanket over me, and he went in the kitchen and he cooked lunch. He stewed chicken with rice and salad, and I just felt so loved and so warm. Like I say, I'm an easy girl to please. It doesn't take much to please me. I'm appreciative of everything. Thank you very much for doing it, babe. I appreciate it. I see you. I see you, babe.
That's all I ever wanted, just to be seen.
But I always see you.
Okay.
So then 2 years,
thing that we have noted is that 53.7% of you guys who watch this channel are not subscribed. So with that, I'd just like to encourage you guys, if the content that we provide is something that you find of value, please, we definitely encourage you guys to subscribe and to follow along for more of the journey. All right? And you have to be so careful.
Oh, baby's kicking.
You have to be so careful when you like tell God what you want. Say, God, I want to get married and I want to spend 2 years married and then have a baby. God is like, okay, as soon as you finish 2 years, your baby will be born like 2 months after. As soon as you cross the 2-year mark. So last weekend with ultrasound, we have a picture of baby's face. I think baby looks like me, but Shumin thinks baby looks not like me, but it's so interesting. And every day finding out baby's kicking, baby's making their moves. I have to choose my words carefully lest I say,
and we don't really spend
his or her moves. I have to make sure
and we don't really spend a lot of time like outside the house as we used to. Most of our time is spent inside. We just do things that the other person wants to do.
We haven't really gone out like that. We just do like simple things, ice cream, mostly just drives, because baby seems to like driving.
And it's not that, but I enjoy your company so much. The things we talk about, we just laugh at random stuff. Like it's just so heartwarming having somebody that you can feel so comfortable around. You can be vulnerable around that person. That person gets you. Even though I'm not getting the jokes that he's dropping in this season, I still love him and he's very patient.
That's top-notch jokes.
And understanding that it's just the hormones, and probably after I give birth, I will go back to my normal self of laughing at your corny jokes.
Okay, no problem. So that's that. Let's give a little baby update as well.
We have an update to give?
Yes, we have a baby. Everybody's been asking us about this gender reveal.
And the gender reveal will come when it's ready.
Yeah, we've actually decided to do a little gender reveal. We know.
Don't say that.
But we know what sex baby is.
Oh yeah.
We're just trying to figure out how best to express it to you guys. What do we just...
So you guys would drop below what you think we're having, whether it's boy or whether it's girl.
Or maybe it's twins.
And I think the first person to...
I'm not the first person. It's only 2 options.
Or the first person to give the correct answer.
Babe, but some people are gonna see the video after other people. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Okay, no problem.
That's not fair.
Yeah. But we're just, in this season, we're preparing to start our nesting. You know what nesting is?
Please explain to me what nesting is. Just I know what it is. I just want to make sure you understand.
You know what it is.
Tell the people what nesting.
But they know what nesting is.
Well, for those that don't know, explain to them what nesting is.
Nesting is the act of preparing for the arrival of a baby. So you prepare the baby's room, you get all the clothes, you wash them with the baby detergent, you set up your baby's closet. You just set up and get ready for baby's arrival. That's nesting.
Okay. So with that being said, yeah, we haven't really started. We're in the process of getting ready to start nesting. In the process of getting ready to start nesting.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we started a baby registry already. The essentials, car seat.
Okay, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to start nesting.
Yeah,
we're putting things in place.
I haven't really started yet. Hopefully, within the next, God willing, few weeks, things should start falling into place where the nesting process can actually begin.
Yeah.
But we're in the process of getting ready to start nesting.
Yes, we're in the process of getting ready to start nesting. Yes. And we're super excited to meet baby and just to hold the baby.
Actually one time I saw in this movie, it was a Kunta Kinte movie. Actually, I wanted to have a baby.
Kinte.
Yeah, same thing. Potato. He went outside with the baby in his hands under the stars, and he raised the baby up like Lion King.
Isn't that Lion King? I was just going to say, isn't that
He raised the baby up like Lion King, and he said, "Look, baby.
What?
Up there, the person who created the stars is God, and God is the only person that is greater than you." When I heard him say that, I said, "Boy, I really want to do that." bring the baby and understand and say, look at God's greatest creation. God is the only thing greater than you. So go out and be great.
And then we were also thinking about what are your ideas of godparents?
I feel like you just crossed me out, but that's fine. I'll do everything by myself. About godparents, I am not entirely.
You guys will let us know what you think about godparents. Are they
necessary?
The thing is, I have godparents, and only 2 of them were active.
How many godparents you have?
I had like 4 godparents. So when I was small, I remember 2. My cousin, which I call auntie, and one
your
of
auntie, which you call cousin.
My cousin, which I call auntie.
And the other one was your auntie that you call cousin?
No, the other was one of my family's family friend.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, I knew these 2. The others are somewhere in the Caribbean in the world, and I don't know them. Right? So when I was growing up, those, my godmother and my godfather that I know, they used to take good care of me. You know,
so what's your relationship with them now?
My godfather, I have not heard from or spoken to him in years. But my auntie, she's a sweetheart. We speak almost every week. We speak,
that's
right?
Good.
So you'll drop us your thoughts on godparents.
Well, for me, I know,
and I love you, Auntie Rhonda.
We love you, Auntie Rhonda.
Yes, we all love you.
We all love you. I know 2 of my godparents. One I have not. Pretty much that one just. I haven't seen that one. That one hasn't seen me. We don't already know anything about each other. That's another story. The other one, she tries. And I mean, considering the distance and everything, I find godparents put too much pressure on the people. Like, we don't hold on to friends as adults for. Like, it's almost like I consider life to be like a bus ride. Some people get off, some people come off, some people get on at different points. And it's almost like putting that pressure on somebody to be in communication with this child for the rest of their life, in a capacity that if you were to pass away today, that they would take the child. Knowing full well that your family would want to take custody of that child before they give the child to somebody who's not a family member. It just puts a lot of pressure, unnecessary pressure. And that's why I'm not a fan
of
godparents.
Yeah, I share the same point of view.
I do believe in having your friends and having your friends interact with your children and having a good relationship with everybody. But to put that pressure on somebody to always have to kind of reach out to your child, and the child having the expectation and even feeling abandoned. You want your child to feel abandoned that a godparent never reached out for 20 years, 40 years. I don't know where my godfather is now.
Yeah, so we would not be having godparents. So
why is it sounding like I sold it?
Yeah. So we will not be having godparents, but we just want our children to have a good, respectful relationship with our friends and close family.
Yeah.
So as we approach our 2nd wedding anniversary, we just want to say thank you for all of you who have been supporting us in prayer. Those of you who have been constantly calling us, checking on us.
Our mentors.
We appreciate you. We love you. We pray that God bless you abundantly. Amen. That He continues to strengthen all of you. We appreciate you so much.
But I've been extremely grateful for a lot of people. Now, I'm not going to start mentioning names, but there are people who have been stepping up. There are people who have been just looking out for us during this pregnancy, making sure we're okay, making sure that, they just check. And it's something that I really, really appreciate. This season, I'm learning to just accept the blessings that are coming, just the check-ins that are coming, and allowing myself to be vulnerable around the people who look out for us and step in. And it's just been amazing, guys. Thank you all so much. Couldn't have asked for a better support system, and it's just been amazing. Guys, have a blessed evening, and above all else,
remember to always put God first. Bye.
So for those of you who are new to our channel, this is a channel where we speak about love and relationships, marriage, and everything in between. If you don't know where to start, I would like to encourage you to either select one of the above. Feel free, guys, to explore the content, and I hope that you guys are blessed.